Okay, hey everybody. Thanks for joining the AES Energy Innovation Challenge information session. Rachel or Megan, if you guys think we're ready to start, please let me know.
Let's do it, Kevin.
Sweet. Okay, so yeah, welcome to the AES Energy Innovation Challenge informational webinar. My name is Kevin Medina, and I'm here joined with several other of my EIC colleagues. And you guys are gonna get to meet them during this presentation and during the breakout rooms at the end of the session. So the purpose of this webinar is to introduce the competition and the challenge to you guys, to give you guys all the information that you may need about the competition, the application, the timeline, and as well to provide a forum for you guys to make teams. We're going to record this session, and if you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them into the chat or save them for the Q&A following the presentation. Okay, so a bit of an agenda. First, we're going to introduce AES, who we are, what we do. Then we're going to detail the competition. We're going to dive into the team criteria, the structure and timeline, the prompt, as well as the competition prizes, what you guys win potentially. We'll follow this with a Q&A and feedback session. And then lastly, like I mentioned, we're going to have breakout rooms. This is going to help facilitate team selection for you guys to meet other people at your university that are participating. All right, so a bit of an overview on AES. We are a 40-year-old independent power producer, so that means we build power plants. We are a Fortune 500 company, and we have presence in 4 continents and 13 countries worldwide. We have about 35 gigawatts of power plant in operation, and that primarily is focused on wind farms, solar farms, and battery energy storage facilities. We have almost around 10,000 employees globally, and we operate 6 utilities as well, with around 2.6 million customers. And yeah, we've got multiple recognitions for our company. We've been noted as a great place to work and one of the world's most ethical companies. Okay, so a bit about some of our technologies as a company. We strive to be an innovative company, and that really plays nicely into the competition, the purpose of the competition. Some of the products that we've developed and some of the innovation to highlight this is Fluence. We built a battery energy storage integrator, which we can talk about more if you guys have any questions about that. We've also got 5B and Maximo, and these are some of our solar manufacturing automation solutions. And just to build on that, we've got some other elements here that I'd like to touch on, such as green hydrogen. We're investing in green hydrogen heavily. Yeah, but overall, we're an innovative company, and we're thinking about new energy solutions. And now I'll hand it off to Rachel.
Great. Thanks so much, Kevin. So for the reason you guys are all here today is to learn more about the AES Energy Innovation Challenge. So the Innovation Challenge is a program, a case competition for graduate students. And you basically form teams of 3 to 5 and compete to bring new ideas to the energy industry for the opportunity to potentially win $10,000 if you are the first place team. Now, while that incentivized opportunity is awesome, some other experiences that you get throughout your time within the Energy Innovation Challenge, you get to provide more ideas to accelerate the responsible energy transition. Also, because this is a big portion of your time that you'll be committing, there is also plenty of benefits throughout the competition as well. You also have some networking benefits. So throughout the competition, we bake networking into every single step. So then you get to meet leaders within the energy industry and also get to network with them and learn more about whether this is the industry for you. And if it is, find your place within it. Also, you get to gain valuable industry experience by utilizing this business case model. You really get to go into every single step of what forming an idea and pitching an idea at a company like AES looks like, and really get that hands-on experience with members of your team. Lastly, also, this is an incentivized opportunity. So if you do happen to come out as the winner, you do get that $10,000. Moving on to the team criteria. So if you are interested, your team size has to be 3 to 5 students. You need to be enrolled in a graduate degree currently. Um, any degree is fine. With that portion, though, there is also an interdisciplinary requirement. So, for instance, if you are at Georgetown and you have 4 international affairs majors, that would not fit into the requirement. But if you had 3 international affairs majors and one computer science major, that would fit into the requirement. Also, if you did happen to have that group of 4 international affairs majors and somebody's undergrad major, for instance, was an economics major, that would also apply for the interdisciplinary requirement. So both of those cases would fit. Also, lastly, students must come from the same university. We'll help you out by the end of the session and group you within groups of students from your university, so you guys can work on forming those teams at the end of the session as well. So, what does the competition look like? This is a overview of what your next few months will look like if you choose to participate within the competition. Currently, we are in the application period, so the application is already currently open. We will be dropping the link to that in the chat later. It opened on August 30th, and it will continue to be open until September 16th. This is where you form your teams and apply all together for the competition. Then, once you've finished your applications, we'll go through, make sure everybody meets the requirements. If so, for all the teams that meet our basic requirements, we will release the prompt and you will get to see what you're going to be talking about and what solutions you're going to be generating this year. Once you get those prompts, you're going to move into the first round and start working on those first round submissions. So, part of that networking I mentioned, you'll have some of those virtual conversations with people from AES, get to talk a little bit more about what your solution is about, and also just things you're interested in as well. Also, you'll attend a company presentation. You'll get a better view of who AES is and what the energy industry looks like and how this prompt plays a role within that as well. Those first round submissions will be due October 2nd. Then, if you make it through the first round, you'll move into the second round where you refine your solutions a little more. Part of this refining process is meeting with an AES mentor who has a specialty within your proposed solution. So then you can meet with them, talk, they can give you some ideas, and you can make your solution even better for the presentation of that second round, which will be October 17th or 18th. Then, if you make it through that second round, we'll move into the final round. You'll have 2 weeks to consider what your solutions will be, what changes you'll make, and then you will present on the last day in front of AES senior leaders. And then from there, we will determine the first and second place winners. And lastly, I touched on this a little bit earlier, but there is networking embedded into every single step of this process. And one key thing we really want to note is that while this competition is virtual in nature, we don't want to limit anybody's participation by it being virtual. So by embedding these opportunities to participate and network with people from the energy industry virtually, we're going to bake some of that in-person experience into the networking experience. So first, we have virtual conversations. You will get a 20-minute one-on-one with an AES personnel. You'll get to network with people who have similar areas of interest to you, so you can really talk about things that you want to talk about. Next, we'll move into the company presentation. As I mentioned earlier, that's a 1-hour presentation on from AES leaders about what AES is. Also, we have that mentoring, so you'll get some specialized feedback from that mentor, and you'll also be able to connect with more people within the company as well. Lastly, on that final day for the final participants, we have that networking breakfast. You'll get to network with other teams as well as AES senior leaders, and you'll get the opportunity to hear a keynote speech from one of AES's senior leaders about the energy industry as a whole and the topic. With that, we can move to Megan, and she will give you a little bit more context on the competition prompt.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here today and joining us as we talk a little bit more about the Energy Innovation Challenge. And I'm really excited to talk a little bit more about our prompt. And so the prompt is released September 20th, and we released the prompt at one time because we want to eliminate unfair advantages. As again, the prompt is kind of complicated, but it's creative, but it's also incredibly, incredibly relevant as it's created by AES senior leaders, meaning directors, VPs. You get the picture. And teams are evaluated on criteria such as creativity, interdisciplinary nature of the solution, and comprehensiveness. And in order for you to get a better idea of what that means, I want to sort of dig into that a little bit more. So creativity is really thinking about the originality, adaptability of the solution and being able to look at it through various different lenses. And that sort of falls in with the interdisciplinary nature of the solution, as we're judging it based off a variety of criteria, as we believe that there's no one solution for everything, as again, that'd be a very simple world if that was the case, as we're looking at a couple different factors such as people, planet, accountability, meaning how it affects Earth, society, governance structures, financial and legal implications. Lastly, comprehensiveness, meaning just having very detailed analysis, contextual consideration, and really taking the whole prompt into holistic consideration. Additional prompt criteria will be sent to finalists when they're announced, and with that in mind, there will be a webinar offered for final presentation prep. Most exciting part for some of you guys, prizes. So to touch a little bit more on the prizes, I'm going to sort of go from first, second, and to what everybody gets, no matter first, second, whatever. So first place prize is the interview conversation for each team member, $10,000 cash prize, and a $1,000 donation to a charity of your choice. Second place prize is the interview conversation for each team member, $5,000 cash prize, and $1,000 donation to a charity of your choice. No matter if you say you are not first or second place and you're just a participant in this competition in general, you automatically gain student memberships to industry organizations and exclusive resources. But overall, I sort of want to say how exciting this competition is, as this competition really serves as an opportunity for you to all to break into an ever-changing, exciting industry of the energy industry. I know coming in, for me at least personally, it's hard to break into this industry, and it seems like there's these great barriers to get in. And we really hope with this competition, it sort of breaks down some of these barriers and allows you to really connect with us because we want to connect with you. We want to learn from you. And that's really the goal of this competition. And we're really excited to kick things off. So with that, I'm going to open up to some questions. Yes. I think you should be able to speak, or you're more than welcome to type whatever question you have in the chat. When you unmuted, we were able to hear you, but no matter what is more comfortable for you.
Hey Megan, this is Utkarsh here. A quick question, just wanted to check. So this is on the competitive prompt that you have shown, right? The competition prompt. I want to understand, are there like uniform problem statements that we have to solve for, or it's totally on us? Like, we can pick anything that just resonate with the industry and we try to solve that. How is the structure set here?
Yeah, let me go back. Just to make sure I'm answering the question, or like us team is answering the question to satisfy the best answer for you, is basically are you saying like are there like distinct problem statements that each year that you need to like answer or satisfy in order to like be considered like to have a good prompt or to have a good solution?
Yeah, or
Or
probably,
or are you
like
talking
this.
about like the topic?
So I'm talking more about the topic. Plus, are there any
Yeah,
specified problem statement that AES has led that you should revolve around or probably pivot around those
yeah.
problem statements, or
Um,
it's a like a free arena where we could
yeah,
choose and play how we want to solve it and what we want to solve for.
yeah. So I hope this will give a little bit more clarity what I'm about to say. So we don't release the
Mhm.
prompt until September 20th, but if you want to see past examples of things that we have done in past like what we've done for competitions and some of the solutions that have been presented, I think one of the team members in my group and can drop this in the link in the chat is a link to previous competitions and some of the questions and prompts that they had to answer. This year is going to be different, as each year we create a new prompt, as again, the energy industry is rapidly changing and evolving over time. So the prompt will not be the same. But if you want to see some examples, I'd recommend checking that out.
Got it. That would be helpful. Thank you. That helps.
Hey, Megan. There's a question that came in the chat about um, data and visualization. I'll just read it for you, or Rachel or Kevin, whoever wants to take it. Isha asks, I want to know if there is any data and visualization specific roles within the team for this competition. I assume she's talking about for the competition, but if there's anything you can speak to on that.
Rachel, Kevin, do either of you want to take it, or
yeah, I'll hop in. So the people that are in your team, it doesn't matter what role they fill within your team. If you form a team and there's a need for a data element or a visualization element that you think is relevant to answering the prompt, then yes, there's a need for that. But really, it's all going to depend on the prompt and how you guys want to approach it. I think that is answering your question. But yeah, you guys don't have to have any specific backgrounds. You just have to meet the interdisciplinary requirement. There isn't any type of degree or major that you guys need. Again, other than meeting the requirements we've let out. So yeah, let me know if that answers the question.
Yes, also to touch on to Kevin's point as well as a point in the chat. Someone asked whether there was a specific focus on engineering, economics, anything like that. To reiterate what Kevin said, a lot of it is we really want the solution to be interdisciplinary, and we want it to be creative. We want you to draw on your own expertise and your own background to come up with a solution that really resonates with you and your team. Because one thing we really believe here at AES is that each individual can bring their own mindset and innovate in really cool and interesting ways. And we'd love to see how you guys iterate on your own, and you don't really have to subscribe to any specific, we have to have X amount of data, you have to have X amount of this. It's more about holistically how your solution addresses the problem.
Another question in the chat, I'm just going to read it out loud, is can you tell what will be needed to fill in the application, since the prompt will be released after the application closes? That's a great question. Something that we can do is I can actually open up the application, and we could sort of do a little bit of a walkthrough with you guys. So if you just give me a moment, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to pull it up.
While Megan's doing that, Rachel or Kevin, there's also a question, what is the expectation of the final result? A new product, just a feasible solution? Do you guys want to speak to kind of what the product is or the final result of the competition?
Yeah, maybe Rachel, might be better suited to answer this, but I'll just say it's really going to depend on the prompt and what's written in that packet for the deliverable. So I can't really detail too much, but it's going to be needed to be thought out, fleshed out, and yeah, a strong project, strong presentation. Think, yeah, class final projects is kind of where my head's at for that.
Yeah, to touch on what Kevin said, we're really looking for a more holistic solution that could be in the form of a product, but we really are we're going as open-ended as you really can. Basically, you just have to encompass what your solution is into a PowerPoint presentation and be able to clearly and concisely explain it to leaders. So that can look like whatever you want it to look like. It just needs to make sense and be able to be packaged within a PowerPoint presentation for our leaders to be able to see, because that's how you will be delivering your information through the last 2 rounds, if that makes sense. Do you have any other follow-up questions that we can help answer on that as well? Also, I'm seeing something about how many teams participate. It does change by year. We are a relatively new competition, so we've been seeing our growth rates about double every single year. Last year, we had about 50 teams participate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are expecting to see an increase this year.
Nope, you nailed that, Rachel. We're aiming for right around 60 teams, somewhere in that area. And I just want to put a finer point on kind of that final result. We are not looking for like prototypes or, full-fleshed business plans and proposals. It really is that feasible solution to the prompt that we'll release to you guys. But yeah, we're not expecting any prototypes or product development in the month time span. So awesome job, guys.
Awesome. Just just to really do a high level overview of the team application. So it's a little bit self-explanatory in this nature. We wanted to make sure that the team application was very simple and very easy to apply. So there's gonna be one application per team. So each team member does not need to submit their own application. You're applying as a team, you're competing as a team. You only need one application. So you select your team name, university, contact information, um, like things like major, as we talked about, interdisciplinary requirement, some other questions. If you're interested in connecting with us for AES for career opportunities, and then you're sort of going by person, more people, person 4, and then team member 5. So then going to like the 2 big prompts, I guess, or questions is, so why is your team interested in participating in the competition? And then is there anything that the Innovation Challenge organizer should know about your team? So we want to make sure that as we're doing this competition and as you're participating, so for instance, if you're in California or Hawaii, we want to make sure that when you do present, it's at a time that is good for you. Because if you guys were in Hawaii and I said, let's have an 8 a.m. meeting, that would not be great. And then obviously we have resumes, and then how did you hear about us? So again, it's a pretty self-explanatory application, but happy to go further in depth if this is necessary.
Yeah, we're definitely going to share the last question in the chat. We're going to share this recording at the end. Not entirely sure in what medium, but we'll make sure you guys get it.